Hey everyone, weekly overview for May 4th to May 8th. Just know this is a busy week because it is the week before the AP exam, but know that I'm a flexible person. I understand it's a challenging time. Please contact me if you have issues, and I will accept work late for full credit. But if you don't get things done before we talk about them in class, you're not going to get nearly as much out of them. So do the best you can this week. Here's what's on tap. So first of all, we've got 3 video quizzes. And I thought long and hard about whether or not I should do video quizzes on a lot of the videos that I had for past units. What I've decided to do is to do a video quiz on a video that has all of the required documents discussed. So that's every single document, because that's going to be the core of the argumentative essay, is using those documents. So I want you to review those. Even if you feel confident about them, as I'm sure many of you do, a quick review is always important. Maybe you'll think about something in a context or a way you haven't thought of before. The other 2 video quizzes are on the civil liberties flashcards and the civil rights flashcards. I felt it was important to do that because, well, we were in remote learning when we did both of these units. We never took an assessment for them, so you never sat down and really studied them for a kind of high-stakes exam. So I really think it's important that you go back and review and think about some of those things we talked about. Maybe it would be in your best interest to print out a copy of the flashcards and jot down some notes for each as you go along. So keep that in mind as well. We'll have Zoom classes as usual, and what I've posted for each of the Zoom classes is, first of all, you have an argumentative essay that would be beneficial for you to have completed before the Zoom class. That argumentative essay is here, okay? If you can't get it done before the first class, I understand, but it's not going to be as useful for us. So try to get it done before the first class. Remember, these are supposed to take 25 minutes. So it's a 25-minute essay. Do the best you can using all your notes and resources. The next one is an optional session. I want to be very clear. This practice B is something that you are required to do eventually, but I'm also going to have a live Zoom class on Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. during the office hours. If you want to come, do it during the office hours. You log into Zoom, then I'll open up the question. You can't see it yet on if you were to click that link. But if you were to take it there live, get it done there, we can have a quick conversation. I can walk you through it. You'll remember exactly what you just did. You can take it, submit it, and then I'll talk about it, and I'll talk about maybe, or I can look at something you submitted right then and there. So it's optional for you to attend there if you want. And if you want to go over those in person, you'll have to go to the optional Zoom session. But again, it's optional. I'm just trying to be supportive for you in whatever way I can. So that's the concept scenario practice B. We'll have a Zoom class on Wednesday or Thursday, and in the Zoom class on Wednesday or Thursday, we'll go over a second argumentative essay. Again, that is a document-based argumentative essay, so try to get that done before the second Zoom class, and then we'll have an optional Zoom class on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. to do a live 15-minute scenario concept application. Okay, so that's the whole week is doing basically a few video quizzes and 4 practice questions. But when you do the practice questions makes a difference on how much you get out of them, okay? If you do them after the fact, after we've talked about them, then you're not going to get as much out of them, but you will get something out of them, and you should do them no matter what. If you can follow that schedule as best you can, you'll get a lot more out of them. We've got some other things to talk about. We're going to have a live, optional, office hours review blitz Friday. That's going to be at 12 p.m. I have office hours on Friday. I'll have a Zoom session there. And in that Zoom session, I'm going to ask you to bring any questions or things you're concerned about, number 1. But then number 2, I'm just going to talk about some stuff. I'm going to go through each unit, kind of try to hit on some big themes, have conversations about what the College Board could potentially ask you on Monday's exam. Okay? And then finally down here, I've got all these resources for you. One thing I've created is a checks and balances cheat sheet. I mean, I think it's fair to say that checks and balances is one of the most important concepts in the course, and it's overwhelming, and there's a lot of different checks out there, and to try to memorize them all is really, really hard. And, this is an open note test. You're not going to be able to look up every little nitty-gritty detail in your notes, and I don't necessarily think you should do that. You should spend your time writing, right? That's why the preparation's really important, because you shouldn't be spending time looking through all your notes and trying to find all these different things and flipping through all your flashcards. That should be kind of worked through in your head. However, if there's one resource to have next to you, it might be a checks and balances chart with all the different examples, because sometimes the questions seem to focus on how the branches relate to one another, how they can impact one another, and how the scenario might relate to multiple branches of government. So I have a cheat sheet for you with the checks and balances visual. I also have a visual that includes checks and balances of the bureaucracy. How does the legislative, executive, and judicial impact the bureaucracy? I put a few thoughts down here. So this is just a resource sheet. I would think you might want to have that out during the test. Maybe it'll come in handy. And then the other things I have posted here that you might be interested in on the Canvas module is there is a website from the College Board about what the exam day experience will look like, and they have a video on there that walks you through what it's going to look like when you take the exam, depending on what device you take it on and how you'll be able to submit it. So it's the same for all AP exams, but I provided the link for you, and you really have to take that personal responsibility to say, I need to know what I need to know in order to take this, because nobody's done it before. So you need to go through those College Board resources, which they've just published. And finally, I've posted all of the review pages for units 1, 2, and 3. Those are the units the College Board has said will be on the exam. If you find it helpful to go through review videos, that would be a great thing to do. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you're stressed and the isolation is getting to you, then the videos are, you just click and play. Okay, it's not too labor intensive to at least have those as resources. They're not the only resources you should use. There's plenty of stuff out there. You have notes. You have all of the Canvas pages for all the units, but you've got all the stuff there. I've got a lot of faith in you guys. I know you're going to do well this week. And as of 3:47 p.m., I've graded pretty much all of the responses from this weekend's scenarios, this weekend's practice questions, and I gave feedback. In some cases, I gave fairly detailed feedback. So I really, really want you to go through those and look at them. I really hope you're doing well. I miss being in class. It's tough for all of us, but hang in there, everybody. And hopefully we have some good things to focus on this week, and it can keep us grounded and keep us busy. And that's important in times like this. Thanks for watching this long weekly overview video. Sorry I kept rambling.